If you're someone looking to get into Comp Proam, but you're not quite sure where to start, what position you should play, what build you should make, don't worry about it, JC's got you covered. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the best Pro-Am builds for all positions in NBA 2K25. I'm telling you guys, by the end of this video, you are going to be dominating the Pro-Am streets. The NBA playoffs have been absolutely insane, and if you're looking to get some good deals on some tickets to some of these conference finals and possibly finals games, you gotta use SeatGeek. SeatGeek is a ticket purchasing app that takes the confusion out of buying tickets. They out a 0 to 10 score on each ticket to know if you're getting a good deal or a bad deal. Plus, you guys get $20 off your first ticket purchase with my code WavyJC. Click the link in the description to download the app, and remember, use code WavyJC at checkout. Shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. Now, the first position we're gonna talk about is the point guard position, and obviously, if you're playing point guard in Pro-Am, you want to make sure you can score the ball, you can hit threes, you can dribble fast, you can, get the ball off quickly to your teammates, all the things that's going to allow you to be effective with the ball in your hands. And I'm going to just assume for all these builds that you guys have at least anywhere from 5 to 10 cap breakers. So let's get into this first build. Now for position, you obviously want to go point guard. Your height is going to be 6'2". I've just found using 6'2" point guards is just always fun for me. I like being a little bit smaller. I don't want to be too tall. On the 6'3" and 6'4s, you feel a little bit slower. Obviously, you could still shoot over people a little bit more in the 6'3s and the 6'4s, but I just feel like being a little bit faster as a point guard is better. Your weight is going to be 170. The 170 weight doesn't really matter too much. I just don't want to be a big looking point guard. I don't want to be too burly, you know what I mean? Your wingspan is going to be 6'3", though. You want to go 6'3" wingspan so you can get the 99.3. You can have 99.3 on the 6'4 as well if you go 6'4 wingspan, but again, I want to feel a little bit faster on my point guard builds. That's just me. It's all about preference. Now, first up for your attributes, you want to go 74 close shot. 74 close shots not going to matter too much. You're a point guard. You're not going to really be in the paint like that. You're going to want to go 79 driving layup. That 79 driving layup is going to be nice to have. You get that float game on silver, and you get layup mix master on bronze. I do floaters from time to time, not too much, but it's still nice to have. Moving on to your driving dunk is going to be an 89. That's going to be key right there. It's going to allow you to throw down everything in the paint. Just peep all these clips right here. Like if your center's too low in the paint, I'm literally getting up on that rim. And at 6'2", like that's what's crazy, at 6'2", and you're still going to end up having a 99.3 on this build. So you match having 99.3 with the 89 driving dunk. What can the defense do to really stop you? Also, with that 89 driving dunk, you're able to get all the contact dunks off 1, off 2s. You're going to want all those. Now, the even crazier part with this build is you're not going to just have 89 driving dunk, but you're going to have that 46 standing dunk as well. Really wanted to go 45, but at the end of the build, you have an extra attribute, so I just threw it on standing dunk. But with that 46 standing dunk, I mean, you could peep all these clips, bro. I'm getting up on that rim off vert. This is on a 6'2" point guard off vert. It's literally insane. Next up, we got your post control. Your post control is not going to matter. Obviously, you're a point guard. You're never going to really be in the post like that. Moving on to your shooting. Your mid-range is going to be an 85. That 85 midi, honestly, going from 84 to 85, I heard it makes a big difference. And as you guys can see in these clips, I'm knocking down all these mid-range shots, contested, all types of things falling down. I don't know, 85 midi is just so tough on this build. Moving on to your 3-ball, you're going to want to put your 3-ball to a 95, and then you're also going to use a +4 cap breakers to get your 3-ball to the 99. That's going to allow you to get all the shooting badges: Deadeye on Legend, Limitless Range on Legend, Mini Marksman Legend, Set Shot Specialist Legend, and Shifty Shooter on Legend. Dude, I mean, bro, I'm hitting half-court threes. When I have heat check, I'm sparking from everywhere on the court. There's not a place on the court that you can't shoot with this 99.3. Contested, it really just doesn't matter, bro. And I know, like I talked about with the 6'4", obviously you can shoot over people more than being 6'2", but even on 6'2", I'm still hitting contesteds. Now, I know you guys might feel like you don't need 99.3, and you really don't. But to be honest, if you're not going to have 99 mid-range, you might as well go 99.3. You got to have that on a Pro-Am point guard build. Like it's a must, bro. Moving on to your free throw, I went 99 free throw. You don't need a 99 free throw, but playing Pro-Am, I just don't want to miss any at all, and I barely miss any free throws at all, so that's really key for me. Moving on to your playmaking, your pass sack is going to be an 89. Obviously, if you're playing point guard in Pro-Am, you got to have a high pass sack. You got to be able to throw to the slips, throw to the corners, off rotations, everything like that. It's just going to make your passes a lot faster. You also get that Tyrese Halliburton passing style at the 89 pass sack, so that's key too. You don't have to use it. You can really use default, but Tyrese Halliburton is really good though. Moving on to your ball handle is going to be a 94. Now that 94 ball handle, you're going to throw a +1 on there. I'm guessing you guys have +5 cap breakers. I'm just, throwing that out there. But you're going to throw a +1 cap breaker on there just to get to 95, and that's going to allow you to get the Steve Francis signature size up. That's the best one in the game. If you're a point guard and you're not using that, especially a small guard, there's literally no reason for you not to be using that. It's the best signature size up in the entire game. 95 ball handle, you want to be able to dribble quick, you want to be able to get around these locks, get around the swings, you know, get to the cup at times, you know, dribble to, you know, shoot threes, get around this, everything like that. You're going to want to have that 95 ball handle. Moving on to your speed with ball, your speed with ball is going to be a 91. Now that 91 speed with ball allows you to get lightning launch on Hall of Fame. Now I do have extra cat breakers, so I ended up throwing another +3 on speed with ball to get to 94 speed with ball. That lets you get legend lightning launch. Honestly, it just looks cool to have another legend badge, but I don't see too much of a difference between Hall of Fame and legend. That's really up to you. You could put it somewhere else. Moving on to the defense. Now, obviously, if you're playing point guard in Comp Proam, you're only going to be guarding the corner, so you're only going to really see locks and swings, so other players who don't have that much offense, so you don't need that much defense, and you have a lock and a swing out there as well playing the defense for you. Your team is literally designed in Pro-Am for you to not have that much defense on your build, but if you want to make a different variation of this build and sacrifice a little bit of offense to get some defense, you can do that as well. But my interior defense is going to be a 50. That lets you wall up in the paint on locks and swings when they're cutting, you know, cutting out the corner and everything like that. Your 58 perimeter defense allows you to get off-ball pest on bronze. That's one of your few defensive badges on this build. You're going to have a 60 steal that allows you to get interceptor on bronze. You're still able to get plucks at times, you know, when the guard comes your way, or, you know, if he steams a pass to you in the corner, you can still catch that steal. And then your block is going to be a 58. And as you guys can see in these clips, I'm getting hella blocks on this build. Honestly, I think defense just comes down to how much you can move your stick, pause, and honestly, I feel like I'm a pretty decent defender, so the defense doesn't really affect me too much. Your offensive rebound is going to be a 25, and then your defensive rebound 37. That obviously doesn't matter. Moving on to your physicals. Now for your physicals, your speed is going to be an 88. That 88 speed right there is going to be key for times when you're able to get out on the break. Maybe there's a switch where you're at the top of the key and now you're the one running the break instead of your hash. You want to have, you know, you want to be fast out there. You want to be able to get on the break, dunk the ball, shoot the threes, do all that. Your agility is going to be an 82. You need that 82 agility in order to get that shifty shooter on legend. That's the only way you can get shifty shooter. You have to have that 82 agility. And honestly, bro, even with the speed and the agility, just have, like, because you don't have that much defense, having speed and agility is just going to help. Like when you're moving off the ball and everything like that, all that is going to help you. You know, obviously being faster, if you don't have that much perimeter defense, like, you got to have a little bit more speed to make up for that. So that's going to be key. Your strength is going to be a 39. Your strength obviously doesn't matter as a point guard. And then your vert is going to be a 78. That 78 vert allows you to get all the contact dunks you need, along with the 89 driving dunk as well. That's pretty much going to wrap up this build. I'm going to show you guys just a screenshot real quick of what my build looks like with all the cat breakers I have right now currently. Obviously, I know you guys don't play the game. Not all you guys play the game that much, so you might not have as many cat breakers as me, but this is what the final build looks like with all the cat breakers I have. Next up, we got the hash position. Obviously, a hash, most important thing is going to be getting on the break and playing defense on the other hash. That's the two most important things. You want to score the ball and you want to be able to play defense. So I'm going to show you guys two variations of this build right here. One's going to be 6'4" and another one is going to be 6'6". First, I'm going to show you all the 6'4". Now for position, you're obviously going to want to go point guard just because that's going to give you more attributes. Your height is going to be 6'4", weight is going to be 175, and then your wingspan is going to be 6'4" as well. That's going to let you get 99.3 on this build. Moving on to the attributes, your close shot is going to be a 72. That obviously doesn't matter. Same thing with the point guard. You're not going to be in the paint like that. Driving layup is going to be 75. It's going to allow you to make layups at times. But one key thing on this build is you're going to have an 87 driving dunk. Now that 87 driving dunk is going to allow you to get the contact dunks, everything you're going to need when you get down on the break. You know, you can bail your PG out sometimes, like late clock with the contact dunk. Nobody's really expecting you to have contact dunks on a 6'4", you know, hash build. Usually most hash builds is just all shooting or middies or everything like that, but this build's gonna have shooting and it's gonna have contact dunks just like the point guard, so that's gonna be key. Moving on to your standing dunk, your standing dunk is gonna be a 59. That's gonna be all the way maxed out. When you're playing on a hash build, there's times where, you know, you might get called on a double cut and you have a little standing dunk under the rims, things like that, where your standing dunk is gonna matter. So obviously you don't need to have it at a 59. You can really go 45, but having it even higher and you're also 6'4", you know, think about it. If I'm doing standing dunks on the 6'2", what are you going to be doing on the 6'4"? You know what I mean? Next up, we got a 40 post control. That obviously doesn't matter. Moving on to your shooting, your mid-range is going to be at 85, same as the point guard build. Obviously, you know, 85 mid-range, like I said, it's very, very consistent. You're also 6'4" on this build, so you're going to be able to hit even more contested mid-range shots. Your three ball is going to be a 94. You want to go +5 on this build instead of the +4 like on the PG build. You want to go +5 on this build so you get that 99.3. Obviously 99.3, like I said, that's probably going to be even better than the 6'2", just because of the fact that you're 6'4", and you can shoot over anybody. Like 6'4" with Patty, bro, is damn near like you can't really get a contest if you have your hands down. Next up, your free throw is going to be a 97. That obviously matters because you're playing Pro-Am. You got to have free throws, especially on a hash build. There's going to be times where you get fouled, especially on the break, transition fouls, all types of things like that. Now, next up, your pass accuracy, that's going to be a 78. You don't want to have it too low just because you are still the secondary ball handler and you're still going to be making passes to the slip sometimes. And 78 allows you to get versatile visionary on bronze. So you could go 75 if you feel like you don't need that badge, but just having an extra playmaking badge is going to help. Moving on to your ball handle is going to be a 90. You're going to go +5 on the ball handle as well, and that's going to let you get the Steve Francis on this build too. Like I said, as a small guard, you got to have Steve Francis. Moving on to your speed with ball, is going to be an 88. You're still going to be able to move quick, everything like that. And if you do have extra cat breakers, you can throw a +3 on that just to get to the 91 speed with ball, and then you'll have lightning launch on Hall of Fame. Now, obviously, this build is going to look a lot different if you don't have all of these cat breakers, these hash builds, like all of these taller builds. To be honest, it's better to have more cat breakers on because the smaller the builds, the more attributes you get. The taller the builds, the less attributes you get. So having more cat breakers is just going to help on these hash builds. Moving on to your defense, interior defense is going to be a 45. You're never really going to be in the paint like that. You're going to be in the paint, to be honest, less than even a point guard would. Like, you know, I'm coming out the corner on my point guard build, my hash, he's never really going to see the paint like that. Like, you know what I mean? He has the swing play and defense for him. He's going to either be out on the break, and he's also going to be playing perimeter defense. Now, moving on to perimeter defense, you're going to have an 85 perimeter defense. That's going to be really nice right there. That allows you to get a few defensive badges, a few key defensive badges, and you're also going to have an 85 steal as well. Now, back to the perimeter defense. That 85 perimeter defense is going to allow you to get challenger on silver, pick dodger on silver, on-ball menace on bronze, and off-ball pest on gold. All of those badges are going to be key right there to shut down these other hashes. You got to have defense, bro. If you don't have defense, these other hashes are going to drop 40 on you. Moving on back to the steal, that 85 steal allows you to get silver glove and you get interceptor on gold. 2 key badges again, that's going to allow you to be playing lanes, you know, ripping other point guards and hashes and everything like that. You got to have that type of defense. Moving on to your block is going to be a 61. Now that 61 block is going to matter just for times where, like, you know, the PG or the hash that you're playing against, they might be trying to midi hunt all game and you might get crabbed a certain time and you're able to get a block from behind. So just having that 61 block is going to be nice, and it's also going to help with your contest on the perimeter as well. Your defensive rebound, offensive rebound, that obviously doesn't matter. It's going to be a 26 O board, 45 D board. Moving on to your physicals. Your physicals is going to be key. Now, your speed is going to be at 89. Some hashes have way more speed than that, but to be honest, because you have dunk on this build, you got to sacrifice a little bit of something. You're still going to be fast on the breaks, but that 89 speed is still going to be really good. 82 agility on this build. Obviously, like I said, with the PG, you got to have shifty shooter on legend. Gonna need that. 45 strength, that obviously doesn't matter too much. And then your vertical is gonna be a 75. That's pretty much gonna complete this build right here. And then I'm gonna just show you guys another screenshot of a 6'6" build. Just depends on what you want to make. If you want to be a little bit taller with a little less ball handle, a little bit more shooting, like, you might want to go with the 6'6". If you want to be more well-rounded on offense and defense, then you're probably going to want to go with the 6'4". Next up, we're going to be talking about the lock. Obviously, this is another key part of your team. This is literally going to be, you know what I mean, he's the front line of your defense right here. He's the first defender that's going to be out there guarding all these PGs. So this build is going to be key right here. You're going to want to go small forward for the position. You want to go 6'6" for the height. You want to go 192 for the weight, and then your wingspan is going to be 7'1". Now, your close shot is going to be a 74, obviously. Same thing with this build, that's not going to matter. You're going to have a 55 driving layup, a 73 driving dunk, an 81 standing dunk, and then a 31 post control, my fault. Now, obviously, your finishing is not going to look that crazy on this build, but you will have that 81 standing dunk that matters when your PG's calling cuts out of the corner. And I'm always calling cuts for my boy Reem. This is his build right here. I'm always calling cuts for him. He's dunking everything. You know, he's making contested layups at times. Sometimes he's even getting and ones. And honestly, you don't need that much finishing because you usually have a point guard guarding you in the corner. And so having that 81 standing dunk going against either like a 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" point guard, it's going to be really nice. Moving on to your shooting, your mid-range is going to be at 89. That 89 midi, bro, my boy Reem is a bucket. He hits contested middies all the time, and he's taller than the PG, same thing. You always have a bad defender on you out of that corner. It's either going to be a slow center or it's going to be, you know, a small point guard. So that 89 mid-range is going to be really nice. Late, you know, throw the ball late to your lock in the corner. You can go get a midi, go get a bucket real quick. three ball is going to be an 83. That 83 three ball is going to let you spark out of the corners. Your free throw is going to be an 81. You play Pro-Am. You just got to be able to knock them down, you know, from time to time. You're not going to probably shoot a lot of free throws on a lock. Moving on to your playmaking, you're going to have a 45 pass act. That absolutely does not matter on a lock build. Your ball handle is going to be a 70, and your speed with ball is going to be a 75. Now, that's just going to help. Same thing at times when you get the ball late in the clock. You need to get a bucket real quick, bail your teammates out. It's going to be nice. Moving on to your defense, the key part of this lock build right here, your interior defense is going to be a 60. That's going to help for at times when you switch with your swing or you get put in the paint. You might be able to wall up, get a stop, hopefully. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter too much, but it can help. Perimeter defense, your perimeter defense is going to be a 94. You're going to throw a +5 on there to get the 99 perimeter defense, and that's going to give you all the legend badges for defense. You're obviously going to need that. And then your steal is going to be a 94. You're going to throw another +5 on steal to get 99 steal as well. So on this build, you're going to have a 99 perimeter defense and a 99 steal. That is, what more do you really need? That's the most important thing when you're playing lock. You're going to be able to get steals on the inbounds, just plucks, everything. You're going to get random steal animations all the time, especially with that 99 steal. It's going to be unfair. Moving on to your block is going to be a 78. That obviously matters. Same thing, like I said, with the interior defense. You get switched onto the center in the paint. You're going to be able to get stops at times, wall up, maybe even get a block. Now, moving on to your offensive and your defensive rebound, you're going to have a 25 O board, and your D board is going to be a 54. Now, obviously, that's not going to matter too much as well. Moving on to your physicals, your speed is going to be a 90. That 90 speed right there is going to be really, really nice. My boy Reem, he has even more cap breakers, so his steal eventually went up to a 94. So that nigga is so fast on defense, bro. It's kind of crazy. His agility is a 92 on this build. He put another cap breaker on there to make it 93, but 92 is still going to work out really well. And then your 71 strength, that matters when you're getting bumps on guards and everything like that. You obviously need to have some type of strength in order to get certain defensive badges. And then moving on to your vertical, you're going to have a 74 vert. That's just going to help with your standing dunks. Now I'm going to show you guys just a little screenshot of what his build looks like at the end of everything, like with even more cap breakers. I'm sure at some point you guys are going to hit, you know, vet 2, vet 3 or whatever it is, and you're going to get even more cap breakers. And so this is what his final build looks like. Moving on to the swing position, the power forward. This is, in my opinion, this is the most important position on a Pro-Am team. Like, you have the biggest role when you're playing swing. You are the defense, bro. If you're not a good swing, your team is probably not going to be a good defensive team. And so I think this is the most important position. Lock the hell in if you're playing swing right now. Now, first up, your position is going to be power forward. Your weight is going to be your height is going to be 6'7", and your weight is going to be 249. That 249 weight, you're going to need that because you're going against centers, bro. You're going to go against big body bigs, and you got to be able to get stops in the paint. You're going to need that. Going to the attributes, your close shot is going to be a 70. That obviously doesn't matter too much. Your driving layup is going to be a 50. Driving dunk is going to be a 50. And your standing dunk is going to be a 45. The 45 standing dunk obviously allows you to get the dunk packages for, you know, standing dunks. And you're going to need that when you're getting called on cuts out the corner and everything like that. And your post control is going to be a 59. That obviously doesn't matter. Now, you look at the finishing, and it obviously doesn't look like it's that crazy, but you have to sacrifice somewhere. You're a really tall build. And for the most part, you're going to need shooting and you're going to need defense. You need hella defense on this build. So moving on to your shooting, your mid-range is going to be at 85. You want to have that 85 mid-range right there. That's going to allow you to get set shot specialist on silver, and you're also going to be able to get Deadeye on silver. You want to have both of those badges. As you can see in these clips, my boy Leak, like, he's sparking everything, bro. I mean, 85 midi is going to have you shooting really, really good on this swing build. Moving on to your 3-ball, your 3-ball is going to be a 79. Obviously, when you're shooting out of the corner, bro, you got to be able to hit. And obviously, if you have the right jumper on, you have T-Mac base and everything like that, you're going to be shooting over hella niggas, bro. Centers, everything like that. So that's going to be key. Your free throw is going to be a 72. Don't really matter too much. Moving on to your playmaking, your pass sack is going to be a 75. The times you do get the rebounds and you want to throw out on the break, that 75 is going to be really nice right there. I think it's a sweet spot to be honest. You go any lower, you're probably going to be throwing a lot of passes out of bounds. You go any higher, you're damn near losing out on a lot of attributes. So I don't think you should really go anything higher than 75. Ball handle is going to be a 65, and your speed with ball is going to be a 60. You don't really have the ball like that, so that's not going to matter. Moving on to your defense, your interior defense is going to be at 80. That's going to allow you to wall up in the paint. Just check out these clips right here. You're seeing everything my boy Leak is doing on defense, bro. Going to be able to wall up in the paint on these centers, get stops, get blocks, everything like that. Your perimeter defense is going to be a 72. The times you get switched out onto the guards, you want to be able to play a little bit of defense, and so that 72 is going to be a nice little sweet spot just to get stops, you know, get contests at times on the guards and everything like that. Your steal is going to be a 94, and you're going to throw a +5 on that to get to 99 steal, and that's going to allow you to get the legend badges you need for steal, you know, interceptor, everything like that. Everything you're going to need in order to take passes in the lanes, you know, bro, when you're playing swing, you're playing damn near everything. Corner cuts, you know, hash cuts, center slips. You have to be able to play everything, and so you're going to need 99 steal, especially this year in 2K25. Moving on to your block is going to be at 84. That 84 block right there, that's going to allow you to get high flying denier on silver, and you can even throw, you know, one of the +1 badge things that you get from the season pass on there, and you can put that at gold, and that's going to be having you move even crazier on defense, you know, getting even more blocks, even more chase down blocks, everything like that. Stops everything in the paint that you're going to need. Moving on to your O board and your D board, this actually matters. You're going to have a 70 offensive rebound. That's just going to help with your center, you know, at times. Just having another offensive rebounder out there on the court, giving you extra possessions, that matters. And this is a new build for Leak, and ever since he had the 70 O board, bro, he has been absolutely horsing. I love it on this build. Defensive rebound is going to be a 94. You got to have at least a 94 defensive rebound if you're going to be down there battling with bigs. You know, you got to help your center out there on them boards. At times he's going to get boxed out, and you got to be the one to get the board, or maybe, you know, he doesn't go crash early enough and it's just you down there and you're going to be able to snag. And so I'm not gonna lie, I'm loving that 94 defensive rebound from my boy Leak. Moving on to the physicals, you're gonna have an 85 speed. You gotta be pretty quick, at least, you know, even on a 6'7" when you're playing. When you're playing everything on defense, you gotta have at least some type of speed. Moving on to your agility is gonna be an 80. Your strength is gonna be a 94. Once you throw a +1 cap breaker on there, you'll have 95 strength. That's gonna allow you to get brick wall on Hall of Fame. You're gonna have a movable enforcer on silver. Like, you're gonna have all the key badges you need. And then lastly, for this build, you're gonna have an 80 vertical. Obviously that's gonna matter for rebounds. And just looking at this build, you have interceptor on legend, you got box out beast on Hall of Fame, brick wall on Hall of Fame, glove on Hall of Fame, pogo stick gold, rebound chaser gold. Like, you have so many key badges, and then you have a few shooting badges as well. And my boy Leak has been absolutely dogging on this build. I love this build right here. I'm telling you guys, if you're making a swing build, you got to make this build right here. This is the most important build on your whole entire team, bro. This is going to be key. Now, last but not least, we got the center position. Obviously, this is going to be a big piece of your team right here. You're going to need to be able to set good screens for your guards, get your, you know, your PG and your hash open, grab rebounds, do everything like that, come out the corner, you know what I mean, get block, everything, make rotations. The center position is a very important position in Pro-Am, as you guys know. So your height is going to be 7 foot. Obviously, your position is going to be center. Your weight is going to be 263, and then your wingspan is going to be 7'8". Now, moving on to your attributes, your close shot is going to be a 78. That actually matters a little bit on the center. Most of the time, you're going to be either doing standing dunks or driving dunks anyways, but the times you do get taken out of animations, that 78 close shot is going to help. Your driving layup is only going to be a 67. Your driving dunk is going to be an 87 though, and that's going to allow you to get contact dunks. Now, this is going to be an inside center build. I'll show you guys a popper build as well, just in case you want to, you know, shoot on a popper or whatever, but this is going to be a pure inside build. So the driving dunk 87, that's going to let you get the contact dunks on the center build. That obviously matters when you're slipping for your guards and everything like that. Your standing dunk is going to be a 90. That's going to be key as well. You want to be able to get up there, you know, get up on that rim. You'll have rise up and all those badges, everything you're going to need to do that. And then your post control is going to be a 65. Moving on, obviously your shooting doesn't really matter like that. 45 mid-range, 25 3 ball, 70 free throw. That 70 free throw right there. The times you do get fouled, you'll be able to knock down free throws a little bit. Moving on to your pass accuracy, you're going to have a 94 pass ac. Now, you need that 94 pass ac because that's going to allow you to get break starter on Hall of Fame. Obviously, when you're coming out of the corner to get the rebound, you want to throw on the break to your hash. You don't want to be throwing the ball out of bounds. You want to make sure you have that high pass ac just so you're able to complete those types of passes. And honestly, that's probably one of your most important roles as playing a center is, you know, throwing the break to your hash. Like, so you got to have that 94 pass ac for that Hall of Fame break starter. Your ball handle is going to be a 59. I would hope in Pro-Am you're not dribbling. Your speed with ball is going to be a 35. Moving on to your defense, you're going to have a 75 interior defense. That's not going to matter too much just because you're only coming out of the corner just to grab rebounds, and the times you're in the paint, 75 when you're already 7 foot, that's going to be good enough to get stops on other bigs and everything like that. Perimeter defense is going to be a 40, doesn't really matter too much. Your steal is going to be a 60, that's going to allow you to get interceptor on bronze. And then moving on to your block is going to be an 84. That 84 block, the times you do come out the corner, maybe you might be able to get a chase down, or maybe if, you know, your dude cuts out of the corner, you're able to, you know, because you're already slow on a 7-footer, having a high block just to be able to recover to, you know, cuts and stuff like that, that's going to help. Moving on to your O board and your D board, you're going to want to go 94 on your O board, and you're going to go +5 there just so you can get that 99 offensive rebound. That lets you get rebound chaser on legend. That's going to be your 1 legend badge on this build. And then defensive rebound is going to be a 90. You want to always have more O board than D board. Honestly, I think O board matters more. Getting more possessions, you know, kicking out to your guards, I just feel like that's more important. You're already 7 foot. Having that high of a D board doesn't really matter, especially when you have your swing boxing out for you. So it's going to be free boards for you anyways. Moving on to your physicals, you're going to have a 66 speed. That 66 speed is going to allow you to not be entirely too slow. You're going to still be slow, obviously. You're 7 foot. You're not going to be able to move super fast, but you're not going to be a slow poke. You know what I mean? You're going to be able to slip off the screens for your guards, everything like that. You're not going to be a turtle out there pretty much. Now, moving on to your agility is going to be a 50. Obviously, that doesn't really matter too much as well. Your strength is going to be a 95. That 95 strength is going to allow you to get brick wall on Hall of Fame. You got to be able to get your guards open. That's another one of the most important things for you, you know, when you're playing center. So you got to have that high strength. And then moving on to your vertical is going to be an 80. That's obviously going to help with that legend rebound chaser as well. You tie all those things together and you are going to have a very dominant center build. Now here's another screenshot of just another basic popper build. If you want to make a popper build, you know, honestly, I think for Pro-Am, insides are just better in terms of getting your guards open, grabbing rebounds and everything like that. But if you want to make a popper, here's just another popper build for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you smash the like button, hit the sub button. If you're going to end up making one of these builds, let me know in the comment section as well. I'm going to start getting these Pro-Am videos back for you guys as well. We're finally starting to get back into leagues again. Love you guys. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.